bababa siya ng kung magkano man yung binaba ng tarifa.
In other words, Mr. Chair, our good officer from the Department of Finance is saying that there is indeed cartel and there is absence of competition.
That could be a possibility. Kasi in perfect competition, ma'am, sa ano talaga, dapat bababa siya. Kasi tataas yung ano mo yung
Okay.
supply mo with importation.
Ano pang ibang possibility? Ano pang ibang factors?
That is all that I can think sa...
Ang ibig po sabihin, Mr. Chair, ng ating kagalang-galang na resource person from the Department of Finance, tila wala ng ibang rason bakit hindi bumababa ang presyo ng bigas despite the political will of the President and DOF na ibaba ang taripa o ang buwis from 35% to 15%. Dalawa lang po ang pinupunto na rason dito, ang pagsasabwatan or collusion and manipulation of prices. Do I get your message right, Madam Resource Person, Mr. Chair?
That could be a possibility, ma'am. Kasi sa...
Hindi, kaya nga, nasabi
Oo,
mo kanina,
oo.
Mr. Chair, na wala nang ibang rason.
Oo.
So I'm just, linilimanize ko lang. So yung po ba ang punot dulo ng mensahe kanina? So that I can proceed to the other resource persons.
Na-discuss
It's
na
a
rin
yes
po
or no,
kanina.
Madam Speaker. Ay, Madam Resource Person.
It's a possibility, ma'am.
Okay, so it's a yes, it's a no?
Yes, it's a
Okay.
possibility.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. And I do hope that the Department of Finance can straight talk. Kasi commitment yan ng sekretary nyo eh. Kapag tila magbubulag-bulagan tayo na may nangyayaring sabwatan, walang mapupuntahan ang Pilipinas. Kaya nga ang presidente natin si BBM dahil bawat bahay dapat may pagkain. Mr. Chair, let me move forward to our officers from the PCC. Andito po ba, Mr. Chair? Sa Philippine Competition Commission.
Di pa naman takot, tanong sa likod.
So sa PCC po, andito po. Okay, maraming salamat sir, if you can, Mr. Chair. So ang tanong ko po sa PCC, na-drawing na po ba, di po ba isa po sa inyong obligasyon ay tingnan na ang presyo ng mga bilihin, lalo na itong bigas, ay hindi masasaktan yung taong bayan? Tama po ba, Mr. Chair?
Tama po, Madam Chair.
Okay, na-drawing niyo po ba dun sa flow? Kasi meron tayong importers who are actually also sometimes wholesalers and retailers. Saan po yung mga punto doon? Saan yung mga flag doon na nangyayari yung possible collusion o sabwatan?
Congressman Garin, doon sa supply chain, so ang theories of harm namin is talagang mayroong cartel or may sabwatan, no? So maraming players na may importers.
Pwede po ba natin, Mr. Chair, matumbok? Kung wala pa ngayon, meron namang hearing again tomorrow, maybe PCC can just have a graph. Hindi pa naman yung final yun eh. A possible graph na tumbukin natin. Narinig na natin lahat ng napag-usapan kanina. Obligasyon po yun ng iyong opisina. Kung pwede nating tumbukin alin doon, sino doon, at paano nangyayari yung kartel na sinasabi nyo ng paulit-ulit. Because your words should translate into actions. Hindi po pwedeng hanggang salita tayo. Ang minamarapat po natin dito, ramdam ng taong bayan, ang minarapat ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos at ng liderato na Kongreso na ibaba, tanggalan, bawasan ang taripa, bawasan ang buwis para mapunta sa taong bayan. Can you commit to have that graph by tomorrow?
Congressman Garin, yes, we can graph the supply chain. Pero yung ebidensya kasi na may sabwatan, may cartel, yun yung mahirap po.
Yeah. Mr.
So,
Chair,
kailangan
again,
it
let me
will
reiterate.
stand.
Hindi ko po sinasabing, kaya nga draft graph. Hindi naman po na ebidensya kaagad ang iproproduce nyo, kundi yung drawing na matumbok natin saan ba nangyayari ang price manipulation. Ito ba sa mga nag-i-import? Kasi ang sinasabi kanina ng ibang importers, direkta nilang linalagay sa mga warehouse na hindi nga nila pag-aari. Para ang nangyayari dyan is baka yung isang shipment nila, 5 tao or 4 or 3 tao ang may-ari niyan, Kaya ang hirap i-pinpoint ng accountability. That's actually why I am pursuing that line of questioning, Mr. Chair, kasi narinig natin kanina ang nagsasabing wholesalers and apparently karamihan sa kanila importers, na kapag sila'y nag-i-import, nakapangalan sa kanila, pero yung actual na tao na kumikita at nagkakaroon ng kartel ay mga iibang kumpanya simply because commingled yung kanilang container. And I believe, Mr. Chair, this is something that we have to look into. Balikan rin natin ulit,
Janet, with the permission of the body, I am being called by the speaker, so kaya pinadala dito yung mga senior deputy speakers. So, I yield the chairmanship to
For the
my...
meantime. For the meantime.
No time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you. Kong Janet, please proceed.
okay, so Mr. Chair, baka ibalik na lang natin ito sa DA. I believe PCC was already there. To the Department of Agriculture, pwede niyo po ba kaming malinawan, especially dito sa mga permits, if there is an importer, yung bang container ng importer ay pumupunta sa isa lamang wholesaler or pumupunta sa 2, 3, 4 o 5 wholesaler?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. So after po sila, ito po ay presuming na sila po ay may SPSIC, of course, documents po ay maayos at nakapag-apply po sila sa Bureau of Customs. Doon po yung first border inspection natin at the ports. So pagka po yun ay natapos na, sinasubmit naman po nila, nakaregister naman po sa atin yung kanilang warehouses kung saan po nagse-second border tayo. Ano?
So Mr. Chair, klaruhin lang natin. Yung importer, sa kanila ba o hindi sa kanila yung warehouse?
Meron po silang registered warehouses sa atin. Kung kaya po sila nabibigyan ng license to operate. Apo.
Okay. So may I ask, Mr. Chair, dun sa ating importers, kasi I heard 3 or 4 of our resource person kanina ang sabi nila, nag-i-import lang sila, pero diretso siya sa warehouse ng customer. Miss Irene Chu, kanina yung po ba ang sinagot nyo? I just can't remember, but I'm definitely sure there were 3 or 4 na ganun yung sagot.
Yung client ko po may sariling warehouse. So meron pong 2 sa Leyte, isa sa Samar, isa po sa Cebu. Hindi po siya dinediretso sa client, sa warehouse po ng binebentahan.
So,
sarili
importer kayo, then wholesaler din kayo.
Hindi po. Importer po si RVDI. Binebenta po nila kay wholesaler, pero yung pinupuntahan po na
Ulitin ko yung
warehouse,
tanong, wholesaler kayo or importer or both?
importer only po.
So importer only.
Apo.
Ini-import nyo, tapos diretso siya dun sa bodega na sarili nyo.
Yes.
Okay. Hindi nyo binibenta o binibenta nyo?
Binebenta po.
Okay. So, Mr. Chair, maybe we need to ask DA, how do we differentiate an importer from a wholesaler? Kasi kanina ko pa paulit-ulit naririnig na importer lang po kami. Direkta po yan sa warehouse or direkta po doon sa wholesaler. How do we differentiate an importer from a wholesaler?
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
Director Glenn.
Ma'am, ang ating pong inire-register sa Bureau of Plant Industry is mga importers lang po. So after natin yung
So
sinasabi...
yung binibigyan nyo ng permit are importers.
Yes po. Sila po
They
yun.
are not wholesalers.
Opo.
Okay, linawin lang natin, Mr. Chair. Importer, kumuha ka sa ibang bansa, dinala mo sa Pilipinas. Indentor naman, kumuha ka sa ibang bansa, meron ka ng customer, may commission ka lang ng kumpanya na pinanggalingan. Tama po.
Ma'am, ang amin lang po, again, is yung registered
Okay.
importers lang.
Pag sinabing wholesaler, nagbebenta ka na ng bultuhan. Tama o hindi, Mr. Chair? Maybe you say. Tama.
Tama, ma'am.
Okay. Pag retailer naman, nagbebenta ka ng mas makonting volume. Pag trader po, ano po ang ating definition doon, Mr. Chair?
I guess siguro, Kung Janet, DTI, would you want DTI also to...
Maybe if DTI. Yeah, Mr. Chair,
Sige.
just to align, the reason why I'm asking the definition of terminologies, kasi kung maalala niyo po, Mr. Chair, during the Sibuyas hearing, ang nangyari po, lahat nagsasabing farmer sila. Pero ang totoo, hindi naman sila farmer. Farmeran lang. Dahil karamihan sa kanila ay nagkakapital, sa kanila lahat ng cold storage, yung totoong farmer ang nadidihado. And I believe in aid of legislation, ito ang dapat puntuhin ng DA at DTI and even customs. And even about talking about accountability, yung definition. Kasi ngayon, kanina may mga ibang nagsasabi, let's call the rice farmers. Ito ba yung totoong rice farmers na nagtatanim ng palay? Baka naman ito ay mga kapitalista na kinokontrol nila para yung farmers, kagaya nung nangyari ngayon, ang hinaing ng ating Pangulo, bawasan ng 20% ang buwis para maging a discount sa taong bayan. Minarapat ng Kongreso rin na gawin to. Nakita naman natin yung ginawa ng Kongreso nung nakaraang taon. Subalit, yung 5 to 6 pesos na dapat na expected na bawas ay naging 44 cents lamang. Kaya bumabalik tayo doon, hindi napunta sa taong bayan at yung kwenta-kom na indentor, wholesaler, trader, retailer, and rice farmer in the context of rice supply that we can discuss tomorrow.
Yes, so may we hear from DA? Yusek Chris?
Yes, sec, Mr. Chair, we'll work out with the DTI with regard
Yes,
to the
also
definition.
together with DTI, BOC? Bien?
Yes, Mr. Chair. We will comply with, of course, for the purpose of the bureau. It's just we only deal with importers, Your Honor. If they are not accredited importers, then they cannot transact business with us, Your Honor. So
Okay,
we have
so-
a definition of consignee, and that's our importer, Your Honor.
Yes, Kung Janet, does that suffice?
That's
to-
yes, Mr. Chair, we also would need that. Kasi there's a possibility na kaya hindi natin matumbok yung mga kumita dito sa dapat naging discount ng bigas sa taong bayan dahil yung importer, ang actual na kumikitang negosyante ay nakatago doon sa pangalan ng consignee. Na yung consignee possibly ay hindi naman yung nagpatong ng malaki. That is something, Mr. Chair, that we need to explore because we are hearing the responses earlier at tila meron doong missing link. Mr. Chair, let me go back again to DOF. Pasensya na po kasi wala kayo kanina. Kapag po ba merong excess production, bababa po ba ang presyo?
Yes, Director Jolly La Rosa.
Jolly. Yeah. Depende, ma'am, kung may excess
Kesa konsumo ng Pilipino. Minarapat ng Kongreso sa liderato ni Speaker Martin Romualdez na gumalaw para makita saan yung mga cost ng mataas na presyo at nasabi nga dahil mataas yung buwis, binaba ng 20% sa mandato ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos at nagsama-samang ahensya. Kaya supposedly, ang minimum na baba o discount per kilo ng bigas ng bawat pamilyang Pilipino simula August ay 6 pesos. Pwede parang mas mataas ito dahil meron tayo ditong magaling na ekonomista, si Congresswoman Stella Kimbo. Kaya ako, Mr. Chair, tinatanong ito kasi dapat kaakibat ng na kinakain ng mga 1 to 2 years old, yung nutrisyon naman na pumapasok sa katawan ng mga buntis at ng mga binubuntis pa lang. And Mr. Chair, the number 1 cause of malnutrition, stunting, na hindi nagiging competitive ang kaawa-awang mga bata na ito ay poor water supply, which is the number 1 cause of diarrhea. So maybe, Mr. Chair, we have here, of course, we have here the Department of Trade and Industry. Again, maybe, Mr. Chair, matingnan. So, Mr. Chair, may I move that in our next meetings, aside from overseeing the cost of rice, we also see into clean water. I'm not saying perfect, but we have to have clean water pipes na kung hindi ito magproproduce ng outbreaks ng diarrhea because the impact of rice is beyond description. But the impact of irreversible malnutrition and stunting is because we have very dirty water in many areas in our country. Baka kailangan matingnan din ito ng Quintacom, Mr. Chair. So I therefore move that we invite the necessary agencies who can oversee the quality of water that is being supplied in various areas in the Philippines.
Yes, thank you. Is there any second to the motion of the Honorable Janet Garin? Any objections? There being none, motion is approved. The COMSEC is hereby directed to invite the necessary people.
Hindi na sana ako magtatanong, Mr. Chair, kasi may Christmas party akong pupuntahan eh. But I really cannot take off hearing all what we have been, the information that we have been generating since this morning. Something seems clear. Things are happening because we have enablers. Kaya, Mr. Chair, I really cannot take off from the Philippine Competition Commission. Balikan ko po ang PCC, Mr. Chair. Sir, can we have the mandate of PCC?
PCC is a quasi-judicial body mandated to implement the Philippine Competition Act to prohibit anti-competitive agreements, abuse of dominant position, and anti-competitive mergers and acquisition, Madam Chair. Mr. Chair.
Will you confirm, Honorable Resource Person, Mr. Chair, sasang-ayon ka ba pag sinabi natin foremost in your obligation is consumer welfare?
Tama po, Kong.
Sasang-ayon ka ba rin na foremost sa inyong obligasyon ay competitive business environment?
Tama po, Kong.
Sa narinig niyo po kanina, Mr. Chair, Your Honor, sa pananaw niyo ba merong sabwatan sa usaping bigas or wala?
Yan po ang theory of harm po namin sa investigation po. Yun yung piniprove namin po na magkaroon ng ebidensya.
Okay,
Na may
punta
sabwat.
tayo sa dolyar. Kasi di ba ang sabi, it's a possible thing na 56 dati, naging 59 ngayon. Can you translate that into pesos per kilo? Yung impact na yon. O di ba, ang sabi ni Secretary Ralph Recto, nung in-announce niya ito sa isang press release ng June 2024, by August, bababa ang presyo ng bigas by 5 or 6 pesos per kilo. And we have seen that in many media outlets. Can you now translate that, yung dollar, yung currency, na 56 to approximately 58, magkano po ang impact nun in pesos?
Madam Chair, sorry, hindi ko po masasagot po ngayon. Hindi ko
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, napaka-simple po kasi ng tanong eh. Kung itong bigas ay binibili mo example $1 per kilo, so 56 yan. So ngayon, magiging 58 yan. Pero meron tayong binawas na 20% ng buwis, which translates to 6 pesos. Kaya nga po ang tanong napakasimple, doon ba sa increase in dollar to peso conversion as compared doon sa expected decrease na 6 pesos per kilo, minimum pa yun. Kasi ang sabi ni Congresswoman Stella Kimbo, it should be around 15. Pero punta tayo dun sa nirelease ng DOF na 6 na piso. Ang tanong ko, can you translate that in pesos? Para kung yung 6 na piso, bababa ba siya by how many pesos? Mr. Chair, it's very simple. And if PCC refuses to answer us on this matter, it gives me the impression that they are not really sincere in their job.
Yes, may we get a response, sir?
Sa ngayon po, Madam Chair, sorry talaga po, hindi ko po...
With this, Mr. Chair, I'm really sorry, but I've been tolerating it since this morning. Napakasimple po kasi ng tanong eh. At andito tayo, kaharap ang ahensya na dapat inaalagaan ang presyo ng kinakain ng taong bayan. If we have an officer from PCC, Mr. Chair, who cannot simply compute something that is actually part of their task, how can they monitor? Matanong ko nga po, bakit hindi niyo po masagot, Your Honor?
Dahil po yung presyo lang po ng bigas na available po sa merkado at saka sa data na nakukuha po namin sa Bureau of Customs, yun po yung
Mr. Chair, ang
numerator namin.
tanong ko is simply theoretically. Ulitin natin, sinabi ng Department of Finance, pag binaba ang buwis ng 20%, ang tao ay makakaramdam ng bawas na 6 na piso bawat kilo ng bigas. Can DOF confirm this, Mr. Chair? They already confirmed this earlier. Can we confirm that again, ma'am?
Yes, Director Jolly.
Yes, yes po. Yun po yung...
Ang sabi naman ng DA ni Asik Bebang, ang isang nakikitang punto na sinasabi daw ng iba, ang rason ay ang pagtaas ng dollars between 56 to around 58 pesos. So ano ba ang impact ng 2 piso na yun dun sa presyo ng bigas? Because Mr. Chair, even with this simple computation, hindi masagot ng PCC, then we're doomed. Because this is the very agency that is supposed to take care of this pricing. Kaya andi dito ngayon yung Kongreso, kaya tayo ay sumasawsaw dahil kailangan ng batas simply because people in some executive offices are not doing their job. And I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, but I might be constrained to move that our good, distinguished resource person here be cited in contempt para matauhan sila at makita nila na seryoso tayo. Because our good resource person, Mr. Chair, is lying. Paano mo naman sasabing hindi mo alam? Paano mo sasabing wala kang alam? Kukumputin nyo pa, maghahanap pa kayo ng ebidensya. Maybe, Mr. Chair, upon reckoning in the room where there is silence, well taken care of, with minimal connection to people in other areas of his life, maybe mas mapagtutuunan po, Mr. Chair, ng pansin ng ating kagalang-galang na representante ng PCC ang ganitong bagay.
Yes, Executive Director, we expect an answer
Yes,
from
but-
you.
but- yes,
Unfortunately,
Mr.
sir, parang wala kasi talaga, our impression is wala kayong ginagawa. I'm sure at some level you are working on something. So, please share naman with this committee. Diba, we need to do something about this.
Yes, Mr. Chair, bigyan nyo lang po kami ng chance na yung tanong na yun ay masagot namin at
Yeah, Mr.
makompute po
Chair,
namin
I'm
po.
hopeless with PCC. Punta na lang po ako sa Bureau of Customs, but I'm not going back from the possible proposal that I mentioned earlier. Sir, if I may, kay Commissioner Rubio or kay DepCom Maranilla, dun po sa magkano po ba yung landed cost ng bigas in June of 2024? More or less.
Landed cost at that time, more or less mga 41, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
41 pesos, no? 41. I was hearing earlier 41 to 44. Parang gano'n, no?
Yes,
Yung
Mr.
kaninang
Chair.
umaga.
Yes,
Yeah,
Mr.
41.
Chair.
Doon ba sa dokumento na natatanggap ng customs, Mr. Chair, meron naman dong dollars, no?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Oo. Pwede po ba nating makuha magkano yun in dollars? If you have the file or if you have the record or maybe our other resource persons here can shed light on the cost of rice during that time in dollars.
Yeah. Mr. Chair, Your Honor, maybe I can just make some estimation on the impact because if we base it at at 500 or 0.5 per kilo, and at that time, if the exchange rate, for example, is at 56, and you multiply 0.5 by 56, you arrive at, I think, 28. I know.
The reason why is I'm we're trying to check if kung hindi naman kasi at walang kakwenta-kwenta ang PCC at wala na tayong pag-asa nun, edi maghanap na tayo ng ibang paraan. So basically, I'm trying to compute, okay, on a per kilo basis. Maybe we have our wholesalers and importers. Magkano po ba yung presyo ng bigas nung
0.3, yeah.
and maybe if Customs
Yeah.
still has the record.
Yeah, the impact, Your Honor, will be if the difference is at 2 pesos for the exchange rate, it's just an impact of 0.3, a little over 0.3 or 0.3, nearing 0.4 per
In-
kilo, Your Honor.
In
So
pesos or in dollars?
in peso, Your Honor. So
So,
that's 30.
para mas maging maliwanag, kunyari, yung 41 pesos na yon, magkano yon in dollars nung kapanahonan na yon?
I'm just assuming, Your Honor, that when it was, the DA was referring to a 56 at the time. So, if for
Ah, so-
example, let's fix it at 56 and then the value, let's fix it at 0.5. So, you multiply it by 56, you arrive at 28 pesos. And then from that 28 pesos, you just compute yung so it's probably 35. So we multiply it to 35, Your Honor. And 35 because at the time, EU 62 is not yet being implemented. So
Eto kaya, sir, I'm not sure, no? I'm not sure if hindi kasi ako ganun ka magaling sa peso-dollar conversion, but just for academic purposes, kunyari, nasa 41 tayo nung August, tama ba? As bebang sa inyo, 41 ba or 44? Sometime in June. 41 or 44?
44.
44 pesos.
Mas mataas.
44, okay. So,
Wholesale.
yung 44, 25% broken. Yung 44 pesos na yon, kung i-divide, tama ba? Do we divide it by 56? Tama ba? It will be 44 pesos over 56 pesos. That will translate to 0.786 centavos in dollars, ha? Tama ba?
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, I'd like to be clarified. Yun pong conversion natin is, like for example, ang bili po kasi nila ng imported usually, nasa dollar per metric ton. So, 1,000 kilos yun, ano?
But it's more or less still the same. O sige, punta tayo sa metric ton. How much was that in June?
Magkano ba siya?
Am I correct, Mr. Chair, in assuming, if others can guide me in this, am I correct in assuming, let's say if it was 44 pesos at the time, or let's say 41, maybe DOF can help. If we convert that in equivalent in terms of US dollar, that's roughly around 0.75 cents. Tama ba? Hindi, ganito lang kasi kasimple. Isang dolyar, 56 pesos. Okay. So kung yung bili or yung landed cost is 44 pesos, if you divide it by 56, that's actually 0.78 cents. Tama o hindi? Cents in dollar, US dollar denomination. Ano lang, conversion. Di ba? Tama. I'm trying to simplify eh. We can talk about metric tons, but I'm trying to simplify it para mas kitang-kita. Tama po ba? Nung panahon nung June 2024, kung yung landed cost ng bigas ay 44 pesos, ang ibig sabihin niyan, kasi dollars ang bili, that's 78 cents dollars. 0.78 dollars. Ganun na lang para mas malinaw. Tama? . Ang landed cost ng bigas noong June 2024 ay 44 pesos. So dahil 44 pesos ang landed cost, how much is that in dollars? Mag-usap tayo ng dolyar. So kung ang dolyar nung kapanahonan na yon ay 56, that is equivalent to $78.78. Director La Rosa, tama po ba? $0.78, tama. Okay, pag-usapan natin ngayon, ang landed cost is 33 pesos. Okay? 33 pesos divided by what will we use? 58 or 59? Director La Rosa, 58 or 59? 58.5, gusto nyo? O sige. Gawin na natin 58 o. 33 divided by 58.5. It's 56 cents. $0.56 para klaro. So Mr. Chair, ulitin natin. Nung June dumating ang bigas, 44 pesos landed cost. In dollars, that's equivalent to $0.78. Naging mahal. Tumaas ang dolyar against sa peso, naging 58.5. Ang landed cost ay 33 pesos. Tama po ba, Commissioner? How much is that in dollars? It's $0.56. Kaya, Mr. PCC, ano po ba ang mas mura? $0.78 or $0.56?
0.56 po.
So, Mr. Chair, that is why we have a problem. Because we don't only have an inefficient agency in our country that we call the Philippine Competitive Commission. Hindi lang inefficient kundi wala sa puso ang kanilang trabaho. And that is why we are in this mess, Mr. Chair. Moving forward, balik tayo doon sa rice importation. Of course, we thank our good resource persons here, si Ma'am, sino yung naiwan?
Si
Ma'am Okinawa? Yung Okinawa, Shinaka. The, you're from Soda Trade, ma'am?
RBS actually.
Oh, RBS. RBS, okay. I am sorry because you're the one who can guide us on this.
Okay.
When you do rice importation, you earlier mentioned merong steps. Bawat hakbang may patong. And that is understandable. Okay. So, ilatag ulit natin yung proseso. Dun sa imported, merong pinanggagalingan. So, yung importer, isang step na yan. Is it not that in the Philippines, most of the importers are not real wholesalers? Kasi ibig sabihin, kayo may mag-i-import, kukuha sa ibang bansa, pagbagsak sa Pilipinas, syempre for more convenience and less manpower, ibabagsak nyo sa warehouse ng wholesaler kasi yun ang talagang negosyo niya. Tama po ba?
Ma'am, it depends on the rice because as I said, it's seasonal There are season na mabenta ang bigas. So if lean month siya at mabili siya, so we can sell directly to a wholesaler. But in this moment na na-establish na nga na maraming supply, then hindi bumibili yung mga wholesaler. So ang iba naiwan sa warehouse namin. But ideally as
ma'am,
importer,
ang tanong ko, ba't mag-i-import kung alam mo namang walang market? Are you tied? Meron bang kontrata na dapat kunin mo talaga yon?
Ma'am, for example, for my case, I can only speak for my
Yes,
case.
please.
So when we bought the rice in August, when the suppliers started to sell already, for example, as I mentioned, Pakistan rice was not in the market prior to that. And then these exporters were offering prices that we thought at the time were viable already because at the moment we bought the rice, that was lean month. But then we really have no control when when the cargo will arrive, and or when the shipper will ship the cargo. So, for example, for Pakistan, it takes 45 to 50 days to get into the market. We assume that they will ship it out on August, but unfortunately, a lot of it arrived end of October, early November. So,
With that, mag-order kayo na, you order August, and then it will arrive November or October. So that's 2 to 3 months. Okay, and the usual shipment duration is around how many days?
So depends on the origin. For Pakistan, it's about 45 days. But
Is it 45 days or is it 2 weeks?
Ma'am-
From departure, ha?
it's 45 days because Pakistan is very far. So there's several transshipment points. So hindi siya direct eh. Unlike Vietnam, which is very close to Philippines, it can get into the Philippines in 2 weeks. But for other origins,
Okay, so if we talk about 2 weeks,
yes ma'am.
hindi ba pwedeng i-cancel nyo kasi alam nyo namang hindi kailangan?
For example, for me, I already paid my deposit. So a lot of these, for example, in Pakistan, they will say, we cannot give you back
Okay.
your...
So, Mr. Chair, I think these are the answers to my earlier question. Na ang nangyayari, kasi parang importing eh, parang kang nag-indent. It's like indenting. You need to pay first before they ship out.
Yes,
Okay?
right.
If you don't pay and they won't ship out. So andun na yung pera mo, dun pa lang sila maglalabas. Ikaw naman na importer or indentor, ang kita mo lang konti dahil dun lang.
Yes.
Pero pagdating dito sa Pilipinas, yung wholesalers, depende naman. Kung medyo bulto ba, meron yung mga sinasabing walk-in. How do we call this? Can we call them traders, yung middlemen?
Yeah, we can.
So, is it true? Maybe we can ask the Department of Agriculture. And also, is it true that dito nagkakaroon ng collusion, price manipulation? Maybe Yusek Asek Bebang? Saan dun sa chain? We need to do the work for PCC. And maybe, Mr. Chair, it's time to abolish that office because it's not functioning. And I believe that should be one of the recommendations of this committee, to abolish the Philippine Competition Commission and just replace it with a body that will work.
Your Honor, as this is an observation also, and one of our observations in monitoring of prices, it is much easier to monitor prices from importers to wholesalers because they have documentation on it. So if ever, as you go down the line, from dealer to retailer to...
Asek Bebang, pwede nating lagyan ng mukha. So we have the importers, we have the wholesalers,
Apa.
and then we have the traders or the middlemen, and then the retailers.
The more that it gets, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, the more that it gets down to the consumer, there is that is where we observe that it's we don't really know how much they put in.
Ang ibig sabihin, okay, itong indentor or yung importer kumita ng piso. Example, piso. Tapos yung wholesaler, magpapatong siya ng another piso or 2 piso kasi meron siyang warehouse. Napunta ito dito sa trader number 1. O magpapatong ng 3 piso. Trader number 2, 5 piso. Trader number 3, hanggang pagdating dun sa retailer. At ang pinakamahirap dito ay walang mukha yung mga middlemen at mga traders na yon. Do you confirm this on the point of view sa observation lamang ng DA?
Yes, Your Honor. It goes to different levels that sometimes we can't really identify how many layers or how many people are involved, especially when you go down the line.
In other words, Mr. Chair, the suggestion of the chair earlier is very laudable. Kailangan nating putulin ang ibang mga middlemen kasi sila ang nakakapamahal. And then maybe, Mr. Chair, the DA can come up with a proposal. It can be an initial, let's not do a comprehensive proposal kasi kailangan ramdam kagad ng tao. A proposal to possibly allow the sale of the wholesalers' product in government offices, including municipal hall. Kasi kung kadiwa lang, iilan lang. Pero kung sa bawat munisipyo, ang wholesaler doon magbabagsak, technically, isa lang ang retailer nyo, yung bayan. At yung bayan naman yon ay magiging guarantor doon sa wholesaler, hindi sila matatakot. Kasi nakita naman natin kanina si ma'am, sabi niya dapat may cash kahit konti lang. In other words, ito yung importer, ito yung wholesaler, itong isa, dalawa, tatlo, apat na middleman ay mawawala. Itong retailer naman controlled yung increase kasi government entity siya. Is that possible, DA family? Asek Bebang.
Mr. Chair, we are currently undergoing efforts po because yun nga po yung na-identify natin na one of the things na nagpapadagdag talaga is yung in-between. So, ang pinaka na-identify po natin dyan is yung problem natin about logistics. So, yun po yung one of the things that we're addressing, of course, with the Kadiwa program, aside from...
Asek Bebang, sorry
Opo.
Logistics on
Yung
what
pag-
aspect?
yung pag-transport po mismo ng goods from as we've learned
From
din po,
the wholesaler,
from the wholesaler
let's say to the LGU.
yes ma'am. So yun po yung one of the things that we're doing now is we're employing and we're acquiring a certain number of trucks din po to be able to
But Asek Bebang, kung titingnan po kasi natin, yung wholesaler, merong logistics din yun, papunta doon sa trader number 1. May logistics sa trader number 2. May logistics sa trader number 3. May logistics sa trader number 4, then the retailer. That can still be addressed by the mechanism eh. So the wholesaler can supply it, let's say, to the LGU, or let's say yung mga DSWD offices, or let's say the PIA offices in the regional offices. Maybe you can have a trial in my district. Pwedeng gawin na kung sino yung wholesaler, ipatong na nila doon yung logistical cost papunta sa bayan. And then yung bayan, magbebenta sila doon ng retail, and then, makikita natin doon na hindi na gaanong malaki ang patong. Will that be possible? Maybe DA can come up with a, let's say, a test, at the dry run or a test case for certain areas.
Mr. Chair, if you'd allow us, that is possible and doable, Mr. Chair.
Can we have the timeline, Mr. Chair? Maybe DA can give us the proposal in a week's time, and we can have magpapasko, we can have a dry run in one of the LGUs. I'm very much willing to host it, Mr. Chair. Let's have a collaboration because we can prove that this will be resolved. Because for all we know, andi dito sa mga traders, andi dito sa mga middleman, yung just for very quickly, Mr. Chair, we actually did that in a certain town in Iloilo. The town is called Tubungan. And actually, Asek Bebang and Sec Kiko helped us by providing that. Hinihintay na lang nila yung truck nga. Dahil nagiging mahal and yung farmers binabarat, the LGU has approved an ordinance wherein they indicated the pricing, the price range. Sila yung namimili sa farmers at sila din yung nagbebenta. Nakapeg lang doon na 20% profit. And it's working. The farmers are getting the right price for their goods. And then the LGU is getting a very minimal profit, pero hindi mahal. That's actually a model that can be followed. So, pwede natin gawin sa bigas yan.
Yes, Your Honor, we will be very much willing to collaborate with you,
Yeah.
with the Congarin's office.
And maybe, Mr. Chair, the good business person was raising her hand. Can you give us more inputs, ma'am?
Ma'am, we actually tried that in Cagayan de Oro. So our LGU requested us to put a booth in the near the city hall, but we found that in 1 week's time, yes, there is sales, but it didn't really significantly lower the market price in the market stalls because consumers have their own channels of buying. Let's say, for example, if I'm a consumer, mahal yung pamasahe. If may rota ng pag-uwi is itong jeep na to, dun din sila bumibili sa pinagbibilhan nila na convenient for them na tindahan. So because we really tried our best to lower our price, and then sabi namin, the fastest way to bring down the price is really to make sure, kami lang ha, yung nag-discuss kami, you force the retailer to carry this low price. Kasi we noticed that the retail stores that we monitor are just 10 square meter. And a 10 square meter stall can only accommodate 20 max bags. So these 20 max bags, the retailers will maximize the sales or the profit they can get per day. So, parang sabi, tinanong ko, ma'am, because this stall are managed by the local government, do you have authority to force them to sell the 38, 39, 41? Ang sagot kasi is, it's a free market. They cannot dictate. Even DTI was there, and they said, it's a free market. So, hindi nila ma-force yung retailer to sell at a certain price. Even if pakita na namin yung presyo, ito you can only buy at this price. But they will say, we cannot pay in cash. Yun yung mga several answers.
In other words, Mr. Chair, andun yung punto na yung iba kasi nagpapautang. That's why, if you put it, let's say, in government offices and even in LGUs or even in corporations, so sabihin na natin, yung ibang mga department store dyan, dun sa probinsya, magiging salary deduction kasi yan eh. So kung salary deduction yan, ang mangyayari, bibili sila kasi babayaran nila dun, ikakaltas. So hindi ganun kayo. But there are actually ways eh. If you really want, unfortunately, we have a very inefficient and lazy Philippine Competition Commission Office. With that, Mr. Chair, we are continuing tomorrow. Ibalik ko lang. Dun sa peso to dollar conversion, is DOF confirming my earlier statement? Not meron siyang epekto, but the effect is somewhere around
8 minus 6, 3, 23,
7,
23 cents.
Yes,
22
Jolly.
cents.
23 cents po ba yung...
Magkano?
23 cents. Tama.
That's in pesos.
In pesos.
23 US cents or 23 Philippine pesos?
US cents.
How much is that in pesos?
Conversion natin, ma'am.
Let's use the current conversion.
Okay. Okay. Times 58.5. That's what it is. Yun ba? 13.45, 13.50, around that.
I think we're going back to our earlier computation. Yung kinumpare natin yung 44 cents, 44 pesos, it's roughly $0.78. Okay? Yung kinumpare natin yung 33 pesos, it's around $0.56. So, hindi totoong mas mahal. Mas mura siya. Okay?
Mas mura po talaga.
Mas mura po.
Mas mura yung minura ng landed cost mo.
Paki-clear po ulit, ma'am. Mas mura yung...
Mas mura talaga yung minura na, ay, mas mura yung binaba ng landed cost mo kaysa doon sa depreciation ng peso mo. Kasi international market, bumaba na siya, mas malaki yung binaba niya kaysa sa depreciation ng peso mo.
So in other words, expected pa rin sana na bumaba.
Yes, yun po yung expectation talaga.
Okay. But there is also an issue that we have been told, there's also an issue on logistics. Ito po ba, Mr. Chair, may we again ask the PCC, is logistics a component of what you are monitoring? How many representatives do we have from PCC?
Yes, Executive Director Kenneth. Is
Yes.
there anyone else with you?
Yes, dalawa po kami, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, can we have
Yes,
the
from
position of your companion?
Ma'am, can you introduce yourself, please? And state your position in PCC.
Good evening po, Mr. Chair. Yes, kasama po doon sa monitoring po namin yung logistics.
Ma'am, what's your position and function in the office?
I'm part of the Legislative Liaison Office from the Office of the Government Council of the PCC po, Attorney 3 po.
So you're part of the Legislative Liaison Office of PCC.
Yes, ma'am.
Aside from that, you have other tasks? Or liaison ka lang ng PCC to here?
We make position papers po to submit to the Honorable Commission po.
Position papers in relation to, ano na po yung mga nagawa niyang position papers?
In relation to this topic po, we participated in the amendment of the rice tarification law po, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Chair, may we again ask the PCC Executive Director, Sir, sa pananaw niyo po ba, may kartel ng bigas or wala?
Madam Chair, Mr. Chair, yun nga yung theory of harm po na piniprove po namin. So, ang hinala po namin, meron po. Kailangan po ng
So, how
ebidensya.
long have you been looking into this?
Meron po kaming first investigation during 2018 to 2020. 2018 to 2020. Then we resume the investigation.
You had an
2023.
investigation in 2018 up to 2020.
Yeah po.
Yeah. If I may, sir, how long have you been with PCC?
Since its creation po,
And when was this, sir?
2016 po.
So in 2016. Mga approximately what month in 2016?
February 2016 po.
Okay. So you have been with the PCC since 2016. Naimbestigahan nyo ang problema ng bigas 2018 to 2020. Ano po ang naging hakbang or aksyon ng PCC?
Wala po kaming nakitang may sabwatan po. Talagang may shortage lang talaga ng bigas during that time. Tapos itong bagong problema po, minonitor namin ulit yung mga big importers and prices po ng bigas. Tapos ngayon, sa supply chain po na inanalyze namin, posible pong ito yung pinoprove namin. May posible pong may cartel sa importers, sa wholesalers, and dealers. Pero hindi mahirap i-prove po ang cartel sa mga retailers po. Sobra pong dami nila. At saka kung pupunta po tayo ng palengke, mayroon kasing...
Do you really believe that cartel will happen among the retailers?
Yun po nga, masyado pong mahirap po yun. Kasi naglalagay na po sila ng mga presyo.
So saan siya nangyayari?
Posible po doon sa tatlo na nabanggit ko na una. Sa importers.
So ano na ang ginawa nyo? Did you initiate a report or whatsoever to bring down the cost? Kasi yun yung primary function nyo eh. Yung logistics, kumusta ba? Logistics ng bigas, tumaas, bumaba, walang nangyari, pareho lang.
Posible pong tumaas po, Madam Chair.
Magkano?
Ay, hindi ko. Wala pa akong figures po ngayon, Madam Chair.
Well, Mr. Chair, with a heavy heart, Mr. Chair, ilang beses po natin naririnig yung katagang bagong Pilipinas. At paulit-ulit po natin naririnig yung katagang na yon dahil ini-expect ng taong bayan na mabilis at agad-agad ang serbisyo ng government offices. While there are lapses on the middlemen and the traders, it is also very important, Mr. Chair, that executive offices and all other offices concerned will have to do their job. Hindi po pwede ang mamayana, hindi po pwede ang teka-teka lang, hindi po pwedeng hindi seryosohin ang pagbababa ng presyo ng pagkain. I don't want to do this, Mr. Chair, and in my 14 years of legislation, this might be the first time that I'll be moving to cite somebody in contempt. I therefore move that we cite in contempt the Executive Director of the Philippine Competition Commission for repeatedly lying and failing to do their job. So moved, Mr. Chair.
Okay, with the indulgence of the Honorable Janet Garin, we will suspend session for a few minutes.